Good morning, and welcome to World in 15, your trusted source for comprehensive coverage of today's most pressing events, delivered with accuracy, integrity, and insight.
A Georgia appeals court has halted the election subversion conspiracy case against Donald Trump and several of his co-defendants, marking a significant victory for the former president as he aims to delay legal issues until 2025 or potentially avoid them altogether. The new order, filed on Wednesday by the Georgia Court of Appeals, indicates that a trial in the state-level Georgia election subversion case will not occur before the 2024 presidential election. The court stated that the case will be on hold until a panel of judges rules on whether Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis should be disqualified. We have Shelby reporting on this.
The appeals court is expected to make a decision on the disqualification issue by March 2025, though a ruling could come sooner. Sources close to the case have told CNN that the timeline remains highly uncertain. Initially, Fulton County Superior Judge Scott McAfee allowed proceedings in his courtroom to continue while the appeals court considered an appeal of his decision to keep Willis on the case. A spokesperson for Willis' office stated that they cannot comment on the appeals court's order at this time. The district attorney can request the appeals court to expedite a decision in this matter if desired. The appeals court's decision highlights Trump's ongoing strategy to put prosecutors on the defensive, attack them publicly, and challenge them in court. Trump and some of his co-defendants in the extensive racketeering case have sought to disqualify Willis due to her romantic relationship with Nathan Wade, a special prosecutor she hired to assist with the case. The defendants claimed that Willis financially benefited from her relationship with Wade, who, according to defense attorneys, covered several vacations for the pair. In March, after a mini-trial where attorneys for Trump and his co-defendants tried to prove their case against Willis and Wade, McAfee found insufficient evidence to prove that Willis financially benefited from the relationship. Willis' testimony during televised proceedings brought her personal life into the spotlight, diverting attention from the charges against Trump and others in Georgia. The judge ultimately ruled that Willis could continue to lead the case if Wade stepped down, which he later did. Steve Sato, Trump's lead defense counsel in Georgia, supported the ruling. The Georgia Court of Appeals has properly stayed all proceedings against President Trump in the trial court pending its decision on our interlocutory appeal, which argues the case should be dismissed and Fulton County DA Willis should be disqualified for her misconduct, Sato said in a statement. When asked by pool reporters on Wednesday night if he had lost confidence in his legal team after the guilty verdict in his criminal hush money trial in New York, Trump responded, "No, it's a rigged system, and it's a terrible system actually. I think we're doing very well. We had a big thing happen in Georgia today," the former president added. Back to you, John.
Thanks for that update.
Tensions are escalating on the Israel-Lebanon border as the Israeli military has warned it is prepared to launch a large-scale attack in the north to deter Hezbollah, an Iran-backed Islamist group. Cross-border attacks from Lebanon have led to significant fires in Israel's northern region, causing evacuations. Israel attributed the blazes to rocket fire from southern Lebanon, where Hezbollah claimed it had launched drones at Israeli military sites. We have Anthony reporting on this.
On Wednesday, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu visited the northern city of Kiryat Shmona near the Lebanese border, stating that Israel is ready for very intense action in the north. He emphasized that Israel would not tolerate attacks and would restore security. IDF Chief of Staff Herzi Halevi also indicated readiness for an attack in the north, highlighting recent training and preparedness. The conflict between Israel and Hezbollah has intensified since Israel's war on Hamas in Gaza began in October. Hezbollah's actions are described as a protest against the war in Gaza. Hezbollah's second-in-command, Naim Qassem, indicated the group does not seek an all-out war, but is ready if necessary. The IDF reports having killed around 300 Hezbollah fighters, while approximately 80 Lebanese civilians have died due to Israeli fire. Additionally, 10 Israeli civilians and 18 soldiers have been killed on the border. The conflict has displaced over 94,000 Lebanese from areas near the Israeli border and more than 53,000 Israelis from the north. Analysts suggest Israel has been unable to force Hezbollah into a ceasefire, creating a security zone, within Israeli territory despite heavy losses for Hezbollah. Far-right Israeli Minister of National Security Itamar Ben-Gvir called for the IDF to destroy Hezbollah, while Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich indicated the IDF does not currently wish to expand the conflict. Senior Israeli Minister Benny Gantz stressed the urgency of resolving the northern conflict, suggesting either a solution or further escalation is needed. Gantz has pushed for a six-point plan to address the situation, including the return of displaced residents. Hezbollah, with its significant paramilitary capabilities, is seen as Iran's most effective non-state partner. The group's potential for overwhelming Israel's defenses with its rocket arsenal raises concerns of a wider conflict that could involve Iran and the United States. Previous near-war situations between Israel and Iran in April underline the high stakes of the current tensions. The ongoing situation underscores the fragile and volatile nature of the Israel-Lebanon border and the broader regional implications of the conflict. Back to you, Bella.
Thanks for that update.
Slovenia has officially recognized Palestinian statehood, joining a growing number of European countries making this move. The Slovenian parliament approved the recognition with a majority vote on Tuesday, becoming the 147th country to formally acknowledge Palestine as a state. This decision follows similar recognitions by Spain, Ireland, and Norway in late May. We have Jensen reporting on this.
The vote in Slovenia passed with 52 votes in favor and none against, according to Slovenia's national broadcaster RTV Slovenija. This occurred during an extraordinary parliament session after overcoming several procedural obstacles. Slovenia's Foreign Minister Tanja Fajon celebrated the decision, stating that it reflects the country's commitment to peace and justice and contributes to the two-state solution for lasting peace in the Middle East. Most of the world already recognizes Palestinian statehood, with over 140 out of 193 United Nations member states having made this recognition official. However, only a few of the 27 European Union member states are among them. The recognition comes amid ongoing conflict in Gaza, where Israel launched a military offensive on October 7 in response to attacks by Hamas, which governs Gaza. The conflict has resulted in significant casualties on both sides, with thousands of Palestinians killed and injured. The international community, including a panel of independent UN experts, has called for a ceasefire and the release of hostages taken by Hamas. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who once endorsed a two-state solution under pressure from the Obama administration, has recently stated that recognizing a Palestinian state after the October 7 attacks would be a reward for terror. In response to the recognitions by Spain, Norway, and Ireland, Israeli Foreign Minister Israel Katz recalled Israel's ambassadors from these countries. Slovenia's decision is seen as an expression of support for the two-state solution, which has long been the goal of the international community to achieve lasting peace between Israelis and Palestinians. Back to you, John.
Thanks for that update.
During the UEFA Champions League final at London's Wembley Stadium on Saturday, London's Metropolitan Police reported 53 arrests. 5 individuals were arrested for invading the pitch, while the majority were apprehended for attempting to breach security measures, according to a statement from the police force. We have Alana reporting on this.
The pitch invasion occurred within the first minute of the game between Real Madrid and Borussia Dortmund. Footage of the incident showed Borussia Dortmund midfielder Marcel Sabitzer intervening to halt one of the intruders. A spokesperson for Wembley Stadium denounced the actions of the pitch invaders, emphasizing that entering the field of play at Wembley Stadium is illegal. The spokesperson stated that all individuals involved had been arrested and affirmed the stadium's commitment to supporting relevant authorities in taking appropriate action. While 5 arrests were related to the pitch invasion, Metropolitan Police Commander Louise Puddefoot noted that most arrests were for attempted breaches of security, as some fans had tried to forcibly enter the stadium. Commander Puddefoot commended the efforts of officers, stewards, and stadium staff in preventing unlawful access to Wembley. She also clarified that videos circulating online showing groups running into entrances did not necessarily indicate successful attempts to enter the stadium, as there are multiple layers of security beyond initial entrances. Back to you, Bella.
Thanks for that update.
American John Poulos was sentenced on Tuesday to more than 42 years in prison by a Colombian court for aggravated femicide and the killing of Colombian DJ Valentina Tres Palacios, along with crimes related to concealing, altering, or destroying evidence. We have Jordan reporting on this.
The crime took place in Bogota in January 2023 and has since garnered significant public attention in Colombia. Tres Palacios, who was beginning to gain recognition at music festivals, had been in a romantic relationship with Poulos since 2021, according to accounts from her family and legal representatives. The Office of the Attorney General of Colombia stated that prosecutors successfully demonstrated that Poulos assaulted and suffocated his partner, then attempted to conceal the body by wrapping it and leaving it in a suitcase in a garbage container in Fontibén, west of Bogota. The body was discovered there by authorities hours later. In the court proceedings on Tuesday, the judge deemed the evidence presented by the prosecution sufficient to establish Poulos' guilt, resulting in a prison sentence of 42 years and 8 months, slightly less than what prosecutors had sought. Additionally, the judge prohibited Poulos from contacting Tres Palacios' family for 20 years and ordered his expulsion from Colombia upon completion of his sentence. Poulos' defense team has announced plans to appeal the verdict, contending that Poulos should be tried for homicide rather than femicide, which carries a lesser sentence. Under Colombian law, femicide, defined as the killing of a woman because of her gender, is considered a more severe offense than homicide and carries a higher penalty. Defense lawyer Freddy Spindola suggested that witnesses had collaborated to incriminate Poulos, while the victim's legal team hailed the sentence as a recognition of the various forms of violence Tres Palacios experienced. Poulos was apprehended in Panama in January 2023 while attempting to travel to Turkey and was subsequently deported to Colombia, where he denied the charges against him. His sentencing occurred nearly a year and a half after Tres Palacios' death. Legal representative Miguel Angel Del Rio noted that Tres Palacios' family can seek reparations for damages once the conviction is finalized by a second-instance appellate court. Back to you, John.
Thanks for that update.
India, the world's fastest-growing major economy, is facing challenges that hinder its ambitions for growth under Prime Minister Narendra Modi's leadership. Despite winning a third consecutive term, albeit without a clear majority, Modi's plans to transform India into a $5 trillion economy at the end of the decade are facing obstacles, particularly in the realm of job creation, especially for women. We have Ava reporting on this.
A significant hurdle lies in the stark reality of the job market, where millions of women like Gunashri Tamilselvan, a 22-year-old engineering graduate, struggle to pursue their careers while facing societal and familial pressures. Tamilselvan, employed at a Finnish electronics manufacturer's factory in Tamil Nadu, faces the prospect of being forced into an arranged marriage by her family, jeopardizing her aspirations for financial independence and professional growth. Her situation is emblematic of a broader issue. Only about one-third of India's working-age women are active in the labor force, significantly lower than the global average. This underutilization of female talent translates into missed economic opportunities, as highlighted by the World Bank's estimation that India could achieve higher economic growth if more women participated in the workforce. Despite India's progress in becoming the world's fifth-largest economy during Modi's tenure, the country's economic potential remains constrained by the limited participation of women in the labor market. McKinsey's research underscores this disparity, revealing that women contribute only 18% to India's GDP, one of the lowest proportions globally. Addressing the gender gap in the workforce is crucial for India to realize its economic aspirations. However, achieving meaningful progress requires concerted efforts to dismantle societal barriers and create an enabling environment for women to pursue their careers. As Professor Chandrasekhar Sripa emphasizes, job creation for women is an urgent priority that demands sustained attention and innovative solutions. Back to you, Bella.
Thanks for that update.
As summer settles in, the usual lull in market activity has taken an unexpected turn this year. Instead of investors following the traditional sell in May and go away mantra, they are pulling out of the U.S. stock market at a rapid pace, signaling potential turbulence ahead. We have Patrick reporting on this.
The absence of the typical summer doldrums suggests a shift in market sentiment. Morgan Stanley Wealth Management's Chief Investment Officer, Lisa Shatlett, warned of potential volatility in the coming months due to economic uncertainties and policy debates, exacerbated by low trading volumes and upcoming catalysts like the presidential election. The shrinking stock market is also a cause for concern. With the number of publicly traded companies in the U.S. declining over the years, the influence of the stock market on the overall economy is waning. This trend, coupled with retreating investors, reflects a diminishing appetite for risk in the U.S. J.P. Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon expressed worry over the shrinking market, highlighting the importance of considering its implications for the broader economy. As the number of private companies backed by private equity firms grows, Dimon cautioned that our understanding of the U.S. economy could become increasingly opaque if this trend continues. In essence, the current market dynamics, characterized by a shrinking market and retreating investors, underscore the prevailing apprehension and uncertainty surrounding the U.S. economy, warranting careful consideration of its long-term implications. Back to you, John.
Thanks for that update. Thanks for tuning in to World in 15 for your daily dose of news and updates. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss out on breaking stories and insightful analysis.